to listen, like to, you know, do at the same time, speakawards.com. If you're ready to get going, now's the time to do that. Right. So I told you a little bit why I set up the awards. What we really wanted to do was recognize excellence in the speaking world. And when I looked around, I saw loads of community-based awards. They had their own awards for their community, but there was nothing public. And I was like, wait a minute, why not? Speakers contribute a lot to communities, to shifting paradigms, to supporting people. Why isn't there a public body that acknowledges that? And that's when I turned to Simone, as you heard, said, look, I think we need to set up an awards company. And he said, okay, let's do it, right? And that's the idea behind the Speaker Awards. It's very much about a public body that will judge, and you'll hear all about the judging process, your application, right? And this year, the last 2 years, we've had incredible judges as well. But this year, what we've done is we've really looked for those people who bring extra kudos, who bring an insight from within the industry. And we have some fantastic judges this year. We've got speaker bureaus on board this year. We've got speaker agents on board this year. We've got people who are in the forefront of speaking. And that's really why I wanted to set up the awards and put these out there now in its third year, to make sure that not only are you seen by the right people, but also you have the right visibility in front of the people in the awards. There's different categories, which we'll go through later as well. So we're going to go through all these categories, and every category has 3 judges. And I just want to say this from the outset. We founders are completely recused from the process. We have no say. The judges this year, they've signed a code of conduct. If they know you, they need to step out, which is why there's 3 per category. Someone will be able to assess your application. So I just wanted to know that. I'm so excited. I'm watching my vision slowly unfold. It does take time. There's always challenges, but at the end of the day, it is always, always worth it. Here's what I want to remind everybody very quickly before I hand this over shortly. Look, doors will open. Some of you might be sitting there going, you know what, maybe not yet. I'm not quite ready. No, now is the time. And I'll tell you why. Because just who you're going to become as a speaker by going through the process will be worthwhile, right? You're going to hear about Grace, who ended up winning a category, who just entered to see where she would land. She wasn't ready. She didn't quite know, but then she won the category. You'll hear about her shortly. When I entered the Business Book Awards, which Drew and Lucy are involved in, a few years ago now, during the pandemic, I entered my 4th book with great pride, like most of us do. Oh my God, it's a great book. I entered the awards. Guess what happened? Nothing. I didn't get a mention. I didn't get shortlisted. And I was like, no, this is not fair. I threw my toys out the pram for about 5 minutes. And afterwards, I was like, do you know what? Get a grip, get over it, come back bigger and better, right? So I did. The following year, in 2022, I submitted my 5th book for the short business book category. And then, luckily, thank you, I got shortlisted for that book. Yeah, so the next year I got shortlisted. Woohoo! But I didn't win a category. But you know what? To get shortlisted for someone who's dyslexic, I can't even read and write. I've managed to be shortlisted for the Business Book Award. Then what happened last year is I got invited as a judge, right? So last year I got to support other authors. And for me, that was the greatest honor. So the point I'm making is be in it. You don't know where it's going to lead. You don't know where you're going to land, but you've got to find a way, and doors will open, right? Have that unwavering faith in yourself and you will make it happen, okay? So we are going to hand it over now to Lucy, who's going to talk about what awards do for you as a speaker. I am going to do my best to pin you, Lucy. Oh, you are? Are you pinned? No? There we are. I will pin you now. Over to Lucy from Rethink Press. Woo!
Lovely. Thank you very much, Elliot. And I'm sorry I underestimated you on the first year of the awards. You got it done, and that was absolutely amazing. And, you know, absolute congratulations. And now we're 3 years in, and that is fantastic. So, and they get bigger and better every year. So congratulations to you and the whole team, because you're brilliant. So I have this theory that there are 2 sorts of people in the world. There are people who primarily communicate and think by speaking, And Elliot's obviously one of those, although he also writes books. And there are people who communicate and think by writing. And I'm one of those. But once I've written something, I love speaking about it. So I understand what I actually have to say when I write things down. So so I started the Business Book Awards, and Elliot has started the Speakers Awards, and I think they are intimately connected. They're all about communication. We all, speakers and writers, we all communicate with words, and every author should have a speaking career because they have got their book written, they know their stuff, they've got everything written down for every keynote they ever need to give. And all speakers should write a book because they are talking about what they know, and they are also creating fantastic content that will go into a book. But all of us need awards. We all need recognition. And I think the Business Book Awards and the Speaker Awards do a fantastic job for that. Awards are about competition, of course, but they're also about community. Awards create a community of people who work in the same area, have the same aspirations. And so it really makes a difference whether your industry has its own award. And awards actually shine a light on that community. So the Speaker Awards shine a light on so many speakers and all speakers, because it everybody knows that the Speaker Awards are out there. People see that there are speakers, people understand that people have more, feel speakers have greater kudos when there's an award out there shining a light on that industry. And the awards are not just about the winners, although it is fantastic to win an award, of course, but it's also about the people who get shortlisted. And, you know, lots of people get shortlisted. The best awards have lots of categories and different types of shortlist. And it's not even just about the people who are shortlisted and the winners. It's about everybody who enters. If you don't enter, you don't give yourself a chance to win, or even to simply get in front of those judges. Even if you don't get shortlisted, as Elliot didn't originally at the Business Book Awards, you're still being seen, as Elliot said, by some really fantastically brilliant judges who knows what the connections you make there are, and you know, who knows what may happen. You may well you know, get further than you think. So as Elliot says, don't think that it's too soon to enter. You haven't done well enough yet. You haven't gone far enough. Just enter, just give it a go. And you never know what's going to happen. Many years ago, about 15 years ago, I entered a novel in a competition that had 47,000 entries, and I didn't think I had a chance of getting anywhere. I didn't win, but I got my novel published by Macmillan. So that, you know, that is the kind of amazing thing that can happen. The other thing that the Speaker Awards does in terms of creating communities is that they have this fantastic Speakers Summit on the day of the awards. And that is just a place you ought to be. If you're any kind of speaker, you should be at that summit. And it's already getting very booked up. So you need to kind of get your booking in quickly, because that's just a brilliant place to be. You network with other speakers, you get speakers speaking to you, there are presentations, there are keynotes, you meet with some of the judges and the team of the Speaker Awards. So absolutely, all I say to anybody who's here today, enter the awards, come to the summit, have a fantastic time. We look forward to seeing you there, and to seeing your entry as well. So go for it.
Thank you, Lucy. Joe, anything to add to that, or has Lucy brilliantly covered it all off?
Lucy's covered it all. I just want to really acknowledge it's lovely to see all your faces. Like, there's something about these awards. It's just a really nice place to be. Lots of high energy, motivated, good communicators all together, all sharing in each other's journey and sharing in, you know, when those wins happen, feeling very inspired and excited for each other. So it's worth being part of. I would also say the team behind the Speaker Awards are so good at promotion and marketing. Just entering will increase your visibility in the world for your ideal clients. So really do. Like my strong urge is enter, but get ready as well. There will be sold out to join the actual event itself, either the summit or the dinner. It's just wonderful.
Brilliant. Thank you both. And of course, we couldn't have done it without your support. So thank you for your belief in us from the first day. So I'm going to unpin you, which is a very strange thing to say to someone. And we'll carry on with the slides. I'm removing pins. Thank you again for Lucy and Joe. Yay, let's give them a round of applause. Woohoo. You can't have a speaker event without a round of applause, people. Come on. Yay. Thank you. There we go. Loving Laura's little jazz hands there. Thanks for that. There's a few of you I can see, so I'm not being picky. There's a few people on the screen that I can see, which is why I'm shouting out a few names. Nice to see you, Andy. Good color you're wearing there, by the way. It looks very familiar in that respect. Right, let's get the slides back on. Let's keep going. Here we are. So why enter the awards? We talked about that as well. So again, here's the website. If you're ready, you've got enough, you're like, yes, I am in. Go to thespeakawards.com and start the registration today. We tell you everything you need to know on the awards, everything you need to get ready. It's all there. Everything's very transparent. The code of conduct, the Q&As, everything's there. And we're going to go through some of them as well. I talked about Grace Marshall, who won last year. She simply entered the awards just to see where she would end up. She was told by her mentor, go for it. She went for it. She went through the phases. She took it seriously. That's the one thing. You're going to hear from Maria Franzoni shortly, who's going to be talking about that. She took it seriously. She entered and she just won, right? Since then, she talks about how it's changed her as a person and how much more visible she is and how much more seriously she's taking it and also starting to get paid and everything like that. And she just went, you know what? I'm just going to enter. So now's the time. Be in it to win it. And then we've got Andy, who's an incredible person, a great speaker, won the TEDx category last year. Again, he entered to see how far he could go. He won the TEDx category, one of the categories we got. Since then, it's helped him with his fees. It's helped open doors. It's helped him get out there more, and it's raised his visibility a lot. So again, imagine had he never entered at all, he would never have got this far. So be in it to win it. Those are a couple of winners, a couple of success stories. Now we're going to hear from Maria Franzoni, who's going to talk to you about what makes a brilliant application. I'm going to pin you, Maria. Over to you. Make sure I mute yourself.
Ouch. May I say ouch? I've been unpinned. I've been pinned rather. Right. I've only got 2 pieces of advice for you, actually. Really simple and straightforward. The first thing is when you're applying, you've got to really make sure you make an excellent first impression. And to do that, it's really quite simple. Follow the guidelines, follow exactly what you're supposed to do. Answer all of the questions, and please, you're speakers, so you tend to want to add lots of words, right? Be brief. You've got to imagine that these judges are judging a lot of applications. Don't give us an entire speech in every answer. Please just be brief. Give the information that's been requested, okay? I know that's going to be difficult for you to resist that urge. Double check that there are no typos, grammatical errors. People like me who are really pedantic, and there will be some pedantic judges in there, because I know there's some my teeth have gone. Former competitors, I've seen them. There are bookers there, and bookers are very judgmental. Check for grammar, check for typos. There's no excuse for those kind of errors, right? The next thing is quality. You are applying for a professional award. You are professional speakers. Make sure that your photos are high quality. Make sure that your videos are high quality. Make sure that everything is quality. Give us the best, as if you were applying to a client to book you for thousands of pounds, right? And be in time. There is a deadline for a reason. There's a lot of applications to go through. Don't be a last-minute merchant. You might miss the boat. So first impression, really, really important, okay? And then the second piece of advice is be memorable. So the biggest problem I had when I had 4,500 speakers on my bureau roster was trying to remember who were the ones to put forward. And there were always the same ones that came forward. Those that got booked 80% of the time were only 1% of that 4,500, and they were memorable for a reason, for the right reasons. You want to be remembered for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons, right? And Elliot's already mentioned I was a judge last year, and I can't remember the exact number of applicants we had in our category. I think it was 26 or 28 in the show reel category last year. I only remember 3 of those show reels now, a year later. But that means those 3 show reels were top, right? And they were top for a reason. They were memorable because they were totally professional. They were memorable because they had personality. I need to see your personality. Judges need to see your personality. Who are you? People book people, right? They also were delivered, they delivered what was required, right? And finally, the big thing, they clearly understood their audience. It was so obvious that they knew what the audience wanted, what the bookers wanted. That message was so clear and precise. They weren't sticking everything, including the kitchen sink, into their messaging. They just had that one strong message. This is what I deliver to the audience. I know that's what they need, right? And because I judged the show reels, I'd like to give you one tip if you're entering that this year. I'm not judging anything this year, so you can bribe me, but I cannot influence anything, okay? But I am bribable with chocolate and alcohol, but I can't do anything for you. The show reel category, here's my tip. It's a speaker show reel. We actually, and you may laugh at this, I hope nobody is here that's done this, we actually had applications where there was no speaking. I mean, it was a music video. Please, it's a speaker show reel. We need to see you and hear you speaking. So that's my piece of advice with regards to the show reels, because those are obviously removed immediately. So 2 things: make a really excellent first impression by doing everything right. And secondly, be memorable. That's it. Back to Elliot. Please unpin me. It hurts.
Thank you, Maria, for that. As always, your insights are just top. Oh, I'm double pinned. How did that just happen? There we go. Just on that note, I just saw a question pop up. You don't need a show reel if you're not entering the show reel category. I just want to address that now. You need the video that's relevant to the category you're entering. So if you're entering virtual speaker, we need to see you virtually speak. If you're entering live speaker, guess what? We need to see you speaking live. Obviously, it's a video, right? So just make sure that the video is appropriate to the category. So just to clarify that, the only category you need a show reel for is the bookable, and like most bookable. No, that's not that. For the show reel category. That's it. Sorry about that. Is that clear? Give me a thumbs up. Right? Perfect. If it's not clear, feel free to reach out to us. I'll gladly explain that again. Perfect. Thanks for that, Maria. Thanks for everybody we heard from so far. It's so nice to see some new faces, some friendly faces. It's always a pleasure. Right. Let's keep this moving. Thanks for that again. And by the way, if you do want to send Maria chocolate, it's Ferrero Rocher, FYI. Just so you know.
Because I'm an ambassador.
As an ambassador, it's all about Ferrero Rocher, right? So those are the chocolates. Now I'm going to hand it over to the one and only Lavelle De Vincenzi, the co-founder, the woman behind revolutionizing the process in this business, an incredible international speaker. Let's welcome Lavelle De Vincenzi. Woo! Although I can't see you anywhere. Where are you? There you are. Right, let's get you pinned.
I'm here. I've spotlighted myself, Elliot. I've been all over this. Don't think I'm behind. I'm not on top of the processes. So the main thing here is I'm here to talk about the judging process and how that works. And you might have noticed, if any of you ever applied to any of those awards or seen those awards that land more as popularity contests rather than actually looking at and assessing the quality of somebody's work. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you've seen those. You're really great, but some of them end up being popularity contests. There's nothing wrong with a popularity contest, but this is not that. So we have taken a huge amount of care in selecting our judges, and we really have thought about industry professionals. And when I say industry professionals, I'm including speaker bureaus, speaker agents, people who have been in this industry, not on the periphery of the industry, in the depths of the industry. So applying alone, as you've heard earlier, eyeballs that you may have been dreaming of getting yourself in front of are looking at your application. Maria Franzoni was a judge last year. She's not judging this year, but she's been gracious enough to introduce us to a number of other people in the space who are looking at your applications. The Booker's Choice Award is judged purely by professional speaker bookers. So if you enter that award, understand that it is people like the likes of Maria, whose job it was to look at applications, and they're looking at how bookable is your application right here and right now. All of the judges you can see on the website. So if you go onto the website, we've made all of them visible and available to you to go and have a look at. And we've assigned the judges to the categories where their expertise is most aligned. The main thing to know is some of you may personally know some of our judges. Maybe you've worked with them before. Maybe they helped you develop your talk. Maybe you're on their books. They cannot judge you. We have 3 judges per category. Any judge who personally knows a speaker has to recuse themselves of judging that speaker as per the Judges Code of Conduct that all have had to sign in order to be able to judge this category. So please don't sit on the sidelines because you think, oh, I can't go in because I know one of those judges. There are 3 judges per category for a reason, and we ensure that at least 2 judges look at every single applicant. So understand we're doing our best to keep this as open as possible. We've made the Judges Code of Conduct completely available to you to go and have a look at. You can also have a look at the categories that the judges will be judging you on. So the judging category is available as well. Once you can find that on the website. You can also find it when you go to do your application. So all of it, everything is 100% transparent. The main thing is to take it seriously. So I saw a question in the chat earlier, how professional does my application need to be? How professional does my booking need to be? Treat this as if you're applying for a speaking engagement. Put your best foot forward. That doesn't mean go overzealous with it. If you haven't got something that's been professionally edited yet, that shouldn't stop you from doing it, but you've got 3 weeks to apply. So don't just slapdash put it together. Apply early and give yourself the best shot at being able to put your best foot forward. What we strongly recommend is go in soon, download the application, look at the questions, and do take some time to pull together all the components that are going to be required for the application. I think that's enough from me on the judging. I will hand it back to Elliot at this stage to go back through more details as to how the process works.
Hey, thanks for that, Lavelle. And to remind you, it's actually 5 weeks, not 3. So for those who are going, oh my God, I've only got 3 weeks, it's 5. 5. Yes. Just so you are clear on that. It's all on the website. All the timelines are there. You know, the most important thing is to enter. For those of you who are fairly new, we have a newcomer category. So don't go, oh, I've only done 1 or 2. I'm just starting out. We've got a category for you. It's a bit like Apple. There's an app for that. There's a category for that, right? So we make sure that we serve as many people as we can, going back to my original reason for setting this up. And here we go. Here's the website. If you're ready to go, you want to start going, downloading, looking, reading, thespeakawards.com is the place to be. And right now, if in your mind, you're like, wait a minute, this would be brilliant for this person, you're thinking of someone, invite them, say, listen, you need to enter. A bit like happened to Grace. Like, yo, you'd be great at this. I think you might win it. Pull them in. Let's do this. Let's move together as a community. And now I'm going to hand it over to wrap this all up and to take it towards the end of this call is the one and only Simone Vincenzi. Simone Vincenzi and I go way back, by the way, a bit of background. Years ago, I don't know if anyone even remembers this, but I used to be known as the coach with a hat, and I used to run a coaching business. I used to do Power to Succeed. And Simone attended one of my Power to Succeed and looked at me and went, I never want to be like that, and walked out. No, I'm only joking. He didn't. And then what happened was he ended up working with Speaker Express in its early days. We worked together, and then we joined this training company that we both were a part of. And he became my business partner and now a lifelong friend. And when I turned to Simone and went, I want to set up an awards company, the first thing he did was hit his forehead. And the second thing he did is, let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Simone Vincenzi.
Thank you, Elliot. Thank you, Elliot. Yes, we go a long way back. Elliot was my very first speaker trainer when we started. I want to talk about going through the categories because I know we had quite a few questions about the categories. So I'm going to share the screen, Elliot. You don't need to share yours. So I'm going to go through the categories, some of how the application works, a bit more of the logistics, and also answer quite a few questions for you. I have to say that one of the things, like awards, can be incredibly beneficial for your business because what they will do, they will create a lot of buzz. They will put you on the map. A lot of the success that I had in my business has been down to awards. I targeted awards that were specific for me to enter. I think I won about 11 so far because I knew about the power of it and I wanted to use that buzz to then use it to generate clients and open opportunities. So remember that. Now I'm going to, so you can see the link. There is going to be a link in the chat right now that directs you to the Speaker Awards. You can find all the information I'm sharing on this page. First of all, I'm going to go through the categories. You can see there is a menu at the top. You click here and then you will see the categories here. We have first the best virtual speaker. This is awarded to a virtual speaker. So we don't need a live presentation. We need your best virtual presentation, a snippet of your best virtual presentation. Then TEDx speaker. So we have the TEDx speaker category. If you have done a TEDx talk between 2023 and 2024, that's the category for you. And there are tons of TEDx speakers. There are very few that get awarded as the best TEDx speaker category. So this is really important. Then we have the best showreel sponsored by one of our sponsors, Shutter Media. And this is to award the best showreel. We are looking for the production of the showreel. We are looking for the message. Does the message come across? Does the showreel sell you as a speaker? Does it give the event organizer and the bookers what they need to see so they are able to promote you? The newcomer of the year, this is someone that is new to the speaking industry, and but is promising. You know, someone is good but new, and this is your category. It is a category that I will invite every new speaker to enter because it will help you reflect on your own speaking business, on how you can be different, on how you can be unique. So this is an incredible category if you are starting out. Now, if you are an incredible live speaker though, and you have footage of you speaking live on stage, the best live speaker category, that is for you. So you will be judged on a snippet that you can choose of a live talk, of a live speech, and that's the best live speaker. Then we will have the speaker of the year, which I'm going to talk about that in a moment. We have the best technology speaker. This is for people that work in the technology space. If you are a leader, innovator, educators in the technology industry, in the technology space, this is the category for you. If instead you're a great storyteller, you like to tell story, you like to inspire, motivate, move people with your stories, this is your best category. So best storyteller of the year is for you. Now, this is something that we have introduced this year that I know many of you will love, which is the Booker's Choice. When we started the awards, one of the visions that we have was for this to be a place where speakers can be seen in front of relevant people. I'm a speaker myself. We are all speakers here. And I want my talks and my material to be seen by bookers, by agents, by the people that then can promote me to their clients. And this is the Booker's Choice. So if you want your material to be reviewed by speaker bookers and to see, am I ready to win this Booker Choice? Am I ready to be represented by a speaker bureau or an agent? Then this is the category for you. If you're working in the field of positive impact and sustainability, this is the category for you. Positive impact and sustainability. I know that there are incredible people here that are not just speaking for the sake of speaking, but in particular because they want to make a positive difference in the world. And if that's you, Positive Impact and Sustainability Award, that's for you. Now, there are, as I mentioned, two other awards, which is the Lifetime Achievement Award and the Speaker of the Year Award. These two awards you cannot apply for. So all the other categories, yes, but the Speaker of the Year will be awarded to the la creme de la creme of all the applications that we receive. So everyone who is shortlisted then will go and have a chance to then be selected for the Speaker of the Year. And that's an internal decision that the judges are going to make, which is the speaker of the speakers in 2024. And then finally, we have the Lifetime Achievement Award, which is an award that we give to someone to celebrate their impact that they had in the speaking industry. It's not something that you can enter. Now, in terms of the actual application, how does this work? You can see that you can, on this page, there are all these buttons. Click here to enter. You will click here. You will be directed to this page. In this page, you will be able to see the terms and conditions and the application guidelines. Then there is a payment that you can make here is £40 for application to one category. If you want to apply for two categories, which is the maximum of categories you can apply for, then you can buy 2. So that's £80. Now, there are a couple of reasons why we did it in this way. One, running the awards is a massive operation. And then 2, when you pay, you're actually committing yourself to entering. I've entered many awards, and the ones that I completed is the one that I paid for most of the time, because it's a commitment that I made to the completion of the process. Sometimes I entered other awards, there was not a fee, and then what I was doing is just leaving it last minute, just to realize I didn't have the right information and the right collateral. So my recommendation is, if right now you say, okay, I want to enter, do it right now, make the payment, whether it's for 1 or 2 categories, and then you have 5 weeks to get all your material ready in order to complete the application. Once you have made the payment, then you will be directed to this page. This is the page where you can enter your application. So that's, you are going to click apply now. We use this platform, which helps all the judging and the scoring. It's called Zealous. You will create your account on Zealous. It's free to create because you've already paid for your application, and then you can complete giving all the information that we need from you. Now, what kind of informations are required? We need your bio, so your professional bio. We need your footage that is required. And also we will need your motivation of why you should win. Why should you win? You'll sell yourself there. And then also other collateral and other media collateral that it will be requested. So, but in particular, your profile picture, your bio, the video, and which category you're going to apply and why you should win. So these are the information that you will need to have ready. I think that's it for the moment. So we are going to move to an FAQ. So we are going to answer all the questions that you have right now. So we are going to have a moment where now I'm sure that your brain is thinking, is that which category shall I apply? Other question that you might have, and the deadline is the 21st of April. So the end of the 21st of April, that's the deadline. Elliot, back to you.
Thank you for that, Simone. So now we've got some of the top FAQs. Simone, do you want to take people through that? Or
Yes. So how many categories can I enter? You can enter up to 2 categories, as I said, not more than 2. So 1 category on 2 category, and then in the checkout, you can choose which one you're going to apply for. The submission deadline is the 21st of April. So the end of the 21st of April, that's the submission deadline. What happens if you are shortlisted? When you're shortlisted, you're going to receive a notification, and we are going to, well, first of all, we are going to have a shortlist announcement. So we're going to have another Zoom call like this, where we will invite all the people that applied and then announce the shortlisted live. After that, then you will be invited to attend the ceremony, the award ceremony, which is in London on the 5th of July, pardon me. So on the 5th of July in London, you will be required to attend the award ceremony, where the winner then will be announced. So you will be required also to buy the ticket to the award ceremony in London. If you cannot make it, but you still want to apply, you can send a representative. So let's say that you want to apply, you think you have strong chances of winning, but you already have commitment for the 5th of July, you cannot make it, no problem, you can send someone else to collect your awards. But we need someone to collect your awards on the 5th of July in person, in the room in London. If you're new to speaking, should you apply? I think we covered it about 5 times. The answer is yes. And how much does it cost to enter? £40 for 1 category, £80 for 2 categories. And also this will ensure that we have high quality applications. We didn't want everyone to enter the award and clog our judges' time. So we want people that are serious and committed to the process. So that's why we put a price point in that level. These are some of the questions.
Novelda, you've been monitoring the chat. Are there any questions we want to pull out from that while we're doing FAQs? I can come and stop sharing.
Yes, there's a few. We've had a few questions from people who pre-bought tickets, and they're asking, how do I redeem? So some of the super early birds included an entry. Simone, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So you will receive an email tomorrow with your login details to create your application. So if you pre-purchase the awards dinner last year, or in the Black Friday offer that we did, which were the two chances that we put it forward, then you're going to receive an email with your login details. If you purchase it last year on the Black Friday, that's included one entry, which means if you want to apply for a second category, for example, then you will need to purchase a second category, but one is included. So tomorrow, everyone that has already purchased it will receive an email with your login details, and then to enter the application.
Fantastic. We've had a few questions from people who said, oh, what if I'm not applying? Can I attend?
If you don't apply, yeah, absolutely. Like, even if you don't apply and that you can attend the ceremony, the award ceremony, you can attend. We are going to first, though, release all the tickets for the award ceremony to everyone that is shortlisted, because the capacity of the room is about 200 people. And we already have a lot of it, which is already sold as part of the people that have pre-purchased it last year, which means that the priority is going to go to the shortlisted and their +1. After that, if we still have more capacity, we will release other tickets to everyone else who wants to attend and participate. In case there are not enough tickets for the awards dinner, you can still attend the Speaker Summit, which is the day conference that we do during the day. This is about helping you grow in your speaking business, but it's separate from the award ceremony. It's a separate event. We have the Speaker Summit in the morning, during the day, and then we have the award celebration in the evening. So these are the other options.
People are also asking, what is the price of the awards ceremony? Is that an additional fee? How much can they expect to be paying to attend the ceremony?
It is an additional fee. I don't remember it at the top of my head, so I don't know, Lovelda, if you can find it in your operational brain, or we need to find it on
my
the
ops
spreadsheet that we
brain
have.
is like reaching. I think it's around 197. So the way that we do the ticket prices is, when you're shortlisted, we do a super special shortlisted price for anybody who's shortlisted before we then open the ticket sales out to anybody, to the wider public. And so you will get the best possible price available as a shortlistee. But I can't remember
it's around
exactly
the
off the top
£200
of my
mark.
head.
It's around the
Yeah.
£200 mark, which will cover an incredible experience that we prepared for you for the dinner. So that's,
And yeah, that's a 3-course sit-down black tie dinner, just so you understand what
Yeah.
included in that. It's not 200 quid in a KFC. Just so
No,
you're
you
aware.
you'll get welcome drinks, 3-course dinner, drink with your dinner, and entertainment. So, you know, we're cramming a lot in for the price point that you're paying. Application questions are PDF, sorry. So I've answered the cost of the July one. We've had a few, Simone, we've had a few people having a couple of challenges being able to access the website. And so we've had a few people who, for one reason or another, weren't able to access it. We've spoken about how many categories. What about the filming? So we've had a few people ask, how professional does this video footage need to be? You know, how long does it need to be? Is it clips that I throw together? Can we speak a little bit more about the video that goes with the application? And is it required? Is it essential?
I'll leave Elliot to answer this question.
And Maria can jump in if she wants. Remember, this is representing you. So, you know, if you've done something to camera, let's say on Zoom, just make sure it's clear, it's clean, and we can hear, right? That's the kind of minimum level. If you're going for live speaker or in the other categories, again, what I would suggest, if you know, the time is 3 to 5 minutes, except for TEDx, which is 8 to 10, make sure it's a clear picture, the sound is clean. And, you know, if you are just chopping a talk of yours head to tail, just make it a clean chop, right? If you're gluing stuff together, just make sure it's smooth. That's all. We're not expecting you to go and hire a top editor to cut. Like, if you want to do that, go for it. But that's not the expectations. We are watching you as a speaker, right? We want to see you speak, and you need to make it as easy as possible for people to see you speak and hear you speak, right? So think of it that way. I can tell you, over the last 2 years, people have submitted stuff that they've recorded on their phone from a distance. That just won't get, the judges will see the first 3 seconds and move on. Make sure it's clean, clear, crisp, and we can hear you clearly. Yeah. Maria, anything to add to that?
The duration of the video, it says, is 3 to 5 minutes for all the categories, apart from the TEDx, which we need your full TEDx.
Okay, yeah, I
Up
have
to
got something
10
to add to
minutes
that.
for a TEDx.
I have got something to add to that. This business is incredibly competitive. And your competitors, if they come in with a higher standard video, they're going to beat you. So I'm saying to Elliot, yeah, okay, you can cut corners and use different, but if I were you and you want to win and you want to win, right? And you want to be the best, I think you should do it properly. So I'm going to disagree with you there, Elliot. Sorry.
We always disagree. I'm good with that. Renee's raised his hand. You might need to unmute yourself.
Rapid question. A lot of my speaking positions were in French. So is that an issue? Will I get, negative points for being French and English in my videos? Because I do have videos of both. So if I shoot out something together, part of it will be French subtitled in English.
That's a great question. We've never had that.
We haven't. So I guess the main thing to say is the judges are all English speaking judges predominantly. I don't know if we have any judges who speak French. And so whilst you can subtitle them, you may find that some of the nuance and the tone and stuff gets missed in a subtitled talk. So if the best you've got is the one that's subtitled, you can load up to 2 videos, by the way, for each application. So you might choose to put one in English and one in French. But given that the judges are English-speaking judges, if you subtitle and put it in a different category, you are making it a little bit more challenging. And sometimes the nuance of speech just doesn't translate in the same way. So it's just something to be aware of. I'm not sure where Simone's dropped off to, but we'll continue. Maria, thank you so much for your comment there as well. It's really helpful to hear from somebody who's judged multiple times as well to say what constitutes a great category. Somebody is also, Tessa's asking, is it possible to chat with somebody and get some advice on which categories to enter, which is not the same as what to put in my application, but for those people who might be sitting on the fence and, you've only got 2 categories and they've got 3 where they're like, what is the best way? Is there a way to get some advice as to which categories they should go for?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't feel this answered it, I'm happy to go offline. But what I would suggest you do is go for the category you most want to win, and that you have the footage to back that. That's would be my suggestion. You must have a hierarchy. Like, this is the one I ultimately want to win, and I'm happy to win that one. Those are the 2 I would aim for. Make sure you've got the footage that allows you to apply for it. That's what I would do with that. That's my suggestion. If you're like, oh, it's between showreel and live, then I'm happy to point, but I would say go for the 2 that you most want to win.
We've had a few questions about what constitutes a new speaker. I've been saying anybody under 3 years, kind of pro speaking space.
Yeah.
What we're looking for. So if you've been speaking since you were 5, but you really only started professionally speaking in the last couple of years, you can go for the new category. We're not going to go all the way back to when you were at school doing those plays or assemblies and stuff like that. Elliot, anything to add in terms of how people should think about new speaker?
Yeah, I think even if you're a few months in, right, but you have footage that demonstrates that, go for it. It's not, remember, you've got 1 application for newcomer, 1 or 2 videos. So as long as you can satisfy the categories and show your best self, go for newcomer. Absolutely. Even if it's a few months in. That's why we put it there, to encourage, to help people on having a stepping stone to be winning newcomer of the year, because that helps elevate as well.
If you can pin me, there is something I would love to add now that I'm back and the internet stopped playing, stop playing with me. One of the things that I would recommend everyone by going through the application process is actually a way to put together the collateral that you need in order to be also seen in a professional way, because there are generally 2 kinds of people that already have these things ready, which for you it will be a work of copy and paste. Take the best video, take the best showreel, because you already know the game. You already know that you have got a great professional bio. You already have great footage. You have a great showreel, and that's the level that you're playing at right now. Great. So for you, it will be a work of copy and paste. For some of you, they might be second guessing, thinking, okay, well, I don't have this, or I don't have that yet, or I don't think it's good enough. This is a process that will force you actually to get this material together. Because anyway, if your dream is to play in a bigger league in the speaking industry, they are requirements. They become basic requirements. And so use this application process to help you put all the collateral together that you need. So that's the things that I wanted to add.
I would second that. If you want to make serious money and in the speaking industry and be paid, and you don't have video footage, I can see Maria shaking, like nodding her head yes, you're not going to make it. It's as simple as that. This is not, it's not the same as authoring. Think of it like if you were hiring a band for a wedding and they sent you a description of what they do, are you going to hire them? No, you want to see the band in action. You want to get a sense of who they are. And it's no different in this space. So if you're saying I'm a professional speaker and you don't have video footage, now is the time to get your act together, because there's a disconnect and a cognitive dissonance there for you in terms of building your speaking business.
Yeah,
it's an essential, fundamental step or
That's
fundamental asset.
That's how we end up spending $2,000 on the band during our wedding. They sent a great video, and Novelda
They
said,
really
I want
did.
that. $2,000 later, we had that band, trust me. But
It'll make the difference. Yeah.
It made a difference.
Okay,
so
brilliant.
somebody was asking the duration of the video. Again, it's 3 to 5 minutes for all categories, with the exception of TEDx, which is 10 minutes because it's a little bit longer. Will the venue be fully accessible to those of us who have physical or hidden disabilities?
Yes.
Absolutely, 100% yes. There is a chairlift should you be in a wheelchair and need to be able to access the venue. When we do applications and you buy your ticket, we ask you about any disability requirements or mobility requirements as well, to make sure that everybody's got access as best as possible. And we do our best to work with the venue to make sure that dietary requirements and physical or disability requirements are covered. So great question, and yes. So we've answered the new category
Allergies
question.
too. Allergies too.
As well.
Yeah.
Does speaking on webinars and summits, this is a great one, work as a newcomer? Should we speak to webinar and summit footage?
Summits, yes. Webinar, we need to see you speak. Remember, this is the Speaker Awards. So webinars often are very kind of like one way. That would be my input about webinars. Summits, go nuts, go for virtual or newcomer or both. But I would be aware of webinars personally. Simone?
Yes.
There we go.
Agreed.
That's your answer.
Think of it this way. If somebody's booking you for a talk, your job in terms of your video footage is to find the footage that is most aligned to showcasing yourself for the category that you've applied to. Okay, so if don't use webinar footage for the live speaker, it's not going to work. We need to see you live on a stage, right? It's live speaker. So think about the category and select the content that's going to be most relevant for showcasing yourself in that particular category. Maria, did you have anything to add to that? Because I think this point is actually really super important.
I think you've covered it. I think it keeps going back to the fact, think about it as if you were putting material forward to a client who's going to pay you. If you have that kind of attitude and that approach, I think you'll do it right. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't have the judges having to connect the dots. Make it as clear as possible. So the same, I've seen a question as well about LinkedIn live streams. Same thinking should be applying to that, as close as possible, as high quality as possible. Thank you very much, Maria, for that. I'm having a look at the rest of the questions. Is there a place of venture?
While you're doing that, I'll quickly say, by the way, once you have paid for your application, the next page, there's also a demo video of how to use the system. So for the user, a bit like, oh my God, I don't know the system. There is a beautiful video shot by me last night about
that's why it's beautiful.
System. So they also
somebody was somebody's asking if the awards are in the same location as if the summit and the dinner are at the same location. They are. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible. What if your TEDx is a bit longer than 10 minutes? So we've got somebody whose TEDx is 11 minutes and 24 seconds to be precise.
I would choose the best 10 minutes out of that 11 minutes. That's what I would do. Just chop it. Either way, I mean, there's got to be a beginning. I don't know, because I know TEDx, you kick in. It's about the idea we're spreading. So it's on, right? There's no massive build up. just choose. I'm sure you can lose 1 minute and 40 seconds. I hope you can. But if there's such a strong case that, you really believe that we have to see it, send me an email and we might. But no, generally, just chop the 1 minute, 40 seconds, please.
Here's
Thank
the
you.
thing. What you may find is that if you submit anything longer, the judges will watch to the 5-minute mark, or they'll watch to the 10-minute mark. Unless it's incredibly compelling that they're just hooked all the way to the end, the chances are, if the best, juiciest stuff that you're saying is towards the end, you run the risk they're not going to watch it all the way to the end, right? So the judges are committed to watching that period. We had 138 applications last year. It's a lot of video footage for the judges to go through, and you are able to upload 2 of them. So it's potentially twice as much footage for the judges. The largest category last year had 30 videos in it. That's a lot of information. You've had to chop it down. Is part of your job as marketing is to know what the best bits of what you say is. That's part of your job as a professional speaker. If you can't pick that out and you're hoping that people have got all the time in the world to watch hour-long talks, I'm telling you, it's not going to work for your marketing. So it's certainly not going to work for the judges. If it's slightly over, you might get away with it, but do it at your own risk. The chances are the judges will watch the first bit and then they'll stop because they're not committed to watching beyond it. Somebody's asked, can I use, we've got a lot of video questions now. Can I use video where I was a panelist?
The same philosophy applies, right? If you think that's going to show you off as a speaker and would get you a speaking gig, right, then put it forwards. But if you think that, you know what, it will show as a panelist and not a speaker, it might show as a thought leader, that might not be the best footage. But also I'm aware sometimes that a panelist, the camera zooms in on you and it comes across as you speaking. Again, if it's going to show you off in the right light and someone would consider that for you to be booked from, go ahead. Yeah.
If you have any other questions that we don't get to cover today, because somebody was asking what Elliot's email address is, send it across to hello@thespeakerawards.com. Because there were people, should I enter this category or not? If you need to get in touch with us with any additional questions we're not able to answer today, then that's probably the best way of doing it.
I think we need to wrap this up anyhow.
Yeah. Will you point us to where to stay?
That one.
Yeah. Will you point us to where to stay and how to book? It's the same. The venue is on the website. If you're interested in booking stuff now, we do have some rooms set aside. When we open up the ticket sales, so after the applications are closed and we open up the ticket sales, we do have a link in there where you're able to tell us you're interested in hotel rooms, and we'll put you in touch so that you can get that done. But if you wanted to go and independently book your hotel room, it's the address is on the website, so you can do it from there.
Brilliant. So let's have.
I think we've kind of got there.
Yeah, well done.
Somebody asked which categories had the most applications last year. That's an interesting question.
Was it storytelling or live?
Storytelling and live were the 2 biggest categories, but Booker's Choice did not exist last year. So there's new categories that have come in as well. So we don't know how that one's going to go this year.
Brilliant. Okay, well done. Thank you all for showing up. Thumbs up if you're going to apply. Let me see those thumbs. Oh, loads of thumbs. I love seeing that. Fantastic. Brilliant. Any questions? hello@thespeakerawards.com, please. Someone from the team will pick it up. Go and apply. Be in it to win it. Doors will open. I think we've got a hand up there, haven't we, for a question? I'm aware of time. So just any questions, email them to us. Thank you for thank you for the sponsors, the partners, the co-founders. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's make 2024 an amazing year for everybody. Be seen, be heard, and enter the awards. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, Elliot.
Thanks. Bye, people.
Bye.
Bye, Gavin.
Bye.
Lovely to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Elliot. Bye.
Can you stop
Bye,
the recording?
everybody. Bye.